Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of The Passion of the Digital Artist. And here he is, that passionate digital artist himself, Jeff Mueller.
Hey Xavier, how have you been?
Just a little subdued tonight, as you can tell. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. It's been a couple weeks since we did the video blog.
Yeah, it has been. I think the last one was at the Super Bowl, or right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting. So, what are we up to, Jeff?
well, the first thing I'd like to let everybody know over this. I've never grown a full beard, neck beard before in my whole life. Even when I was younger, I usually did. So I'm going to be in the next couple of months growing it out, but by spring it'll all be back. I just wanted to see what it's like. So look for the gray beard off, because you can kind of see there's a little bit of gray in there. But then all of a sudden one video blog it'll be dark brown.
And it's a miracle. How does that happen?
I was talking to my wife and I said, well, I do have brown hair, but what if I just made it black? Because who would know? Because you don't have any other hair reference to tell whether I have black or brown.
Well,
I just have to put a little bit into the eyebrows.
Only your hairdresser would know for sure, as this phrase goes.
So anyways, that's a new look for me just over the winter. It's been a pretty, what would you say, weathery winter. So
it's been the cold weather and the snow has definitely worn out its novelty for this year.
It's been kind of nice. So that brings me, yay!
Yay! What do you got there?
The digital part of Mushrooms to Heaven is
awesome.
Finished. And this particular piece. It's a 16 by 24, and this is what Simply Canvas prints out, and the frame also. This is a very reasonably priced type endeavor. I basically, if you want to flip around onto that back there, my Evelyn Brent portrait, that piece for me to get matted and framed was $175. Now, I'm here to tell you with, on this particular piece, staying in the 16 by 24 range, when you get to the larger prints, when you're talking about 40 by 60 or 30 by 60, which is a majority of what I do for my work, you get up into the $200, $300 range of, I think actually a 40 by 60 costs you right around $400. So, and unframed. So when you get in a larger, but when you're within this realm of a 16 by 24, which is a little, this is not completely small for me, but this was, I believe, right around 100. It was the same price as, I think it was just a little bit less than just the framing cost to print this high quality canvas. The simply you can see back here the quality of this wood. The canvas is high quality, and then you're talking about 100-year-old inks. 100-year-old inks are more light fast than the acrylic paints themselves. Acrylic paints are 75 to 100 themselves. So you're talking about, when you're talking about the inks, you're talking about the same or a little bit better quality than you are with the acrylic paints that I use. And I've been experimenting a little bit. I like golden acrylic paints. I like the Winsor Newton. They have a couple different lines, but I like the Artista series for them. But now all I've got left here is to finish. I probably got about 5 to 6 hours of just adding the acrylic paints to this particular piece. I'm gonna take this particular fungus mushroom down so that it's not brighter than the top mushroom, and it's gonna kind of lead you up. I don't mind this mushroom being a little bit lighter down here because it kind of takes you back through here and then back up through. So, and then I'm going to add a little bit more depth through here, and then I'm going to do some thicker painting through the Van Gogh type feel of the bark. I mean, it's just like all this
painterly feel.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of he did the paintings of the Italian olive groves, and in them he's got that kind of long brush strokes for the trees and whatnot, and I tried to have that particular flow going on through the bark when I was doing this. When you do something like this where the subject matter is simple, composition is very, very, very important, because composition, when you're doing something more, becomes way more prevalent than if you were doing something complicated, like a cityscape or whatnot. There's so much there's so much going on in one of those, where this is, there's a good amount going on as far as, but it's just bark, the mushrooms and the green of the grass. So that it's going to be way more prevalent as far as your technique of your brush strokes. And I like to work on this type of a painting every once in a while in order to hone my skills and develop my technique to if I was to use that in a more complicated painting. It's always a good
I think it's going to look awesome, Jeff, but if I know you, it's going to be a little bit more than 5 or 6 hours. It always is. Perfectionist that you are.
All right, that brings me to the newest painting. And if you take a look back here, this particular painting, which is called State of Blue Illumination, it's going to be it's a 3 or 4 painting series. Taken nighttime of the New York skyline from the Empire State Building, and then in this particular case, this is from the observation deck looking up at the Empire State Building. You can see right now that's the partially the photo reference involved with the painting, but right here is how far I am on the painting.
So explain again for those that haven't seen your blog before, when you do the flip-flop like that, what's painted and what's not.
Well, this particular piece, this part is the painting so far, and it's paint in the form. All the brush strokes are there. You can see I've got a little bit more to deal with through there, and then some of the areas I'm kind of roughing in. Now this is my photo reference underneath, and you can see what's going on as far as photo reference. When you come up, you can, I'll show you what. This is the actual brush strokes of the paintings throughout this area. And then you'll be able to see as I get down, and you can see right through this area here, now as we come to the windows, this area right through here and right through here, I've pretty much painted, whereas this area here is reference. And what I do when I'm painting, and I'm gonna show in a couple minutes. You'll see what we're doing.
Stop motion.
I'm experimenting with the GoPro, which allows me to set up behind me. It takes 1 frame per every 10 seconds. So I've got a short video that I'm gonna play in a couple minutes. And for a couple minutes, and you'll be able to see what I'm doing. But I can play it, you'll see it up on the screen. And then here, what I do when I paint is I basically reference the color and what's supposed to happen, and then I take away the background and I paint the color in. Then I'll take it. Okay, you can see right there it needs to be a little bit lighter. So there we go. I take it in the lighter area, paint that in, and I'm basically referencing the photo for color and positioning as you fill that in. And you take a look, it's not as close as I want it to be. It looks like it got a little lighter there. I'll take a light one off there, bring that through. Take a look again. Looks like I need a little bit dark. Going through here. Kind of come up. And that's pretty much how I'm painting on this.
So as you progress, that's how you also check yourself. Have I repainted this? You've you toggle it back and forth like that, and you can see where you haven't painted.
Oh, right. You could tell a lot of times, like right into this, like there's some areas that I haven't painted yet. Right through here, I'll pick, boom, you go in, fill in, and you paint. When I'm doing that, that allows me to see what my painting is, and then as you back off, you see what's going on. That's how I go about doing it, using the photo as a reference guide, mainly for color. Now, in a lot of different cases, for instance, up here, which is a great example here, that as I take it away, the scaffolding or the antenna or whatever up there has been painted away. And then the other thing that I like to do, let's see, that's what this started out looking from the straight photography. And then what I did is alter it to be what I wanted it to look like. I wanted a more bluer look. I didn't like that would have been nice, but it's just too plain for me. And then once I get into this, which really intensifies the color, and then you drop that in to start overall making the whole building feel, the whole building will have a certain cleanness that's not there that I'm going to paint in, so as if it was per sky. So that's where we are with that.
Very exciting painting. I can't wait to see how that one comes out.
Yeah, the stop motion, I'll put that in. You'll be able to see it. It basically, this is my first test, and I want to show everybody it. But then I'll have a good. I'm planning on doing it again, knowing exactly how to go about doing this.
I'm especially impressed with your decision to go to the blue, the midnight blue cast on the building, sort of an evening serenity, yet a certain excitement because of the lights. When you had it with the gray look, as the original photo was, gray and sort of brownish almost, that gives it much more of a kind of like a, I don't know, a neo-industrial quality to it rather than the serene evening look. So I think that was a barn burner decision there.
It's cool how you say that, because when I took the picture initially, I mean, it's just so stunning being up there in August. It just was a gorgeous night, and I've got some spectacular other paintings that'll be coming out of it, but this particular the graphic aspect of it, but looking up, taking that picture, that's how I envisioned it. And that's pretty much how it is with a lot of my paintings. I see it, and then I see the moment, but I envision the moment, what it's going to look like as a painting, opposed to picking a photo, which I have done, where I pick photos and then I envision what it's going to look like from the photo. I like, in this particular case, in a lot of my paintings, to actually have the painting in my head and take the photo as reference to do the painting, opposed to, well, for instance, with the mushrooms to heaven, that particular painting was an iPhone picture that I liked. I was shown it, and the picture itself inspired me. But I didn't see that painting when it was pictured, because I didn't take the picture, for one, and for two, you know, I saw the painting once I saw the picture.
So you have random photos that then inspire a painting, versus you have some external exploration that makes you take targeted photos to develop the painting.
And honestly, that's how most of my paintings are. It's the process that I enjoy, because I love to view the world. I love to take my camera out, either the camera we're using now or the other camera, and I love to basically go out and capture a painting. That's what I'm looking for, is to capture an actual painting. And when you see that in your mind, and then you take the picture, you still have it burned in your mind, and you know what you're adding to it. Whereas something like that, I had to work my way. I knew I liked the bark in the painting. That's why I thought it was a good picture to paint. And then it kind of defined itself. Whereas this, it's already defined itself in my head, and it's a lot of paintings are like that. So
very interesting.
That's where we're at.
Quite the interesting blog.
I hope so. Maybe we'll put it in 2 parts.
Maybe we're the only 2 people that'll find it interesting. Who knows? Hopefully not. That was excellent, Jeff. I enjoyed that. Folks, I think that's a wrap for this week.
Yep. It's great to see you all again, and see you guys soon.
Y'all take care. Bye-bye.